explain before I start to run workstation. Since it's a new idea for them, and I want the classroom to be controlled, or at least not so chaotic. So in the very beginning, I did spend 15 to 20 minutes to tell them what we are going to do and why we are going to do this workstation. And the concept of workstation is cornered. Students should realize that in each table, they do different tasks. But in normal classroom like ours, we don't have layout like this. But that's an easy problem to solve. As long as we tell them now we want to do workstation, just put 4 desks together and then they can do it by themselves. What's troublesome is the rotation. What I do is I draw the map on the blackboard and I explain the way they are going. And after we try this several times, it's okay for them to move another table very quickly. And I have to tell them to finish the text within 15 to 20 minutes. So in my presentation, I take Unit 5 scene here, for example. So here are 4 tests. We have only 3 groups. It's like these 2 groups are doing the same test, and these, and A, B, C, B, C, A, and vice versa. And D, E, F doing the same way. Okay, and I made it clear. Okay, so the first test is vocabulary matching. And the second table, they have to do 2 worksheets. Know how to avoid acne, skin-related beauty defects or myths. And the last one is making arguments. Okay, and this example is I adapted the worksheets from debate promoting program by NTNU, which is more convenient and it's also related to another program. What I want to mention is some skills that you may want to notice if you want to try this at home in your school. First one is grouping skills. I group my class based on their proficiency level, judged by my observation and the grades of their first midterm exam, since they are the first graders of senior high school, and I didn't know them before. So I put 2 students at the top in one group, 2 in the middle, 2 at the bottom, and 1 with special needs. So in one group, they have students from different proficiency levels, so they can help each other with their specialty. And as I mentioned before, this needs previous explanations. They need to know why we are going to do this and how we are going to do this. And I provide immediate assistance from the teacher. If they cannot read the guidance, if they don't understand some words or any further explanation, I will walk around and give them assistance. And I would like to talk about the role of mother tongue. Do you think they are allowed to speak Chinese when they run workstations? Yes? No? Yes, raise your hand. No? Raise your hand. Okay. So only one of the teachers says no, so I skipped it. I allow them to speak in Chinese because they are students with low proficiency level and their anxiety level is high. So I tell them it's okay to speak in English as long as your work is done it's okay to speak in Chinese as long as your work is done in English. And I also encourage them to speak easy English, even use some vocabulary in their Chinese. I tell them it's okay as long as you try to speak more and more afterwards. And what's important is time management. Okay, because the one session is short, so I put them in two class sessions, which means 100 minutes. And we have to strongly monitor the time and tell them you have 5 more minutes, and now it's time to change. Come on quickly. So the time management is important. And I emphasize discussion and the leadership. I tell them I strongly emphasize the role of the leader. They have to conduct the members, conduct the discussion. And also it's important to have a wrap-up activity. You have to put say some conclusion and tell them maybe next time you can do better in this way or in that way. And if you want the classroom more controlled, not so chaotic, it's better to arrange those activities with one silent activity, one active one, so that they can have only one group talking and walking around, and another maybe they sit around and make discussion. And the result is from the interview of 6 students in each group. So I interview 2 from each group. And they all say workstation is fun, it's different from the teacher-centered instruction. But they also say it's challenging. And they also discover that it's time-consuming because if we spend time 2 sessions on workstation, maybe they don't have time to write down the notes. They don't have time to listen to grammar points or something. So they think it's time-consuming. But they also admitted that they learned a lot from. They learned about how to cooperate with one another, which they seldom do this from other classes like Chinese, mathematics, and they still expect teachers direct instruction. I think this is mainly because they think their English is poor. They think they cannot do so well, so they expect my instructions. Also, the limitation. Okay, I think it's the time constraint. Okay, the balance between activities and the direct instruction is the problem that existed in all of us, inside all of us. So I put it in 100-minute class. And the class schedule is tight. So what I do is I put it after midterm when the schedule is more flexible. So we have more time to do activities like this. And preparation. Teachers should have a lot of handouts, materials, and the resource to do workstation because we conduct like 3 or more activities in one class session. So in the beginning, it's really time consuming. But once we build the database, we prepare the handouts, the resource, and the website like Hope Do. She's an experienced teacher, and she's hardworking, so she has a lot of handouts And
You share.
yes, and always share with your partners. And you can find some programs that provide worksheets, and all we have to do is to change it into the more suitable one. All we have to do is adapt it. That's more easier for us. Okay? And here's my personal reflection. In my school, the student was who were lower in proficiency level, I think it's better to put it in selective class because we will have more time to do it, and the class size is much more manageable. And I think it's more suitable for 11th graders because their maturity and we are more familiar with them. And I think workstation is a way to combine different teaching activities in one session. So teacher can put activities that train different language skills. For example, listening and writing in listening, writing, maybe speaking together in the same class session. So students can train their holistic skills in one class session. And what's best about the workstation is that teachers can build a logical order among the stations we design. However, the text should be proper design if we want them to transcribe with a certain time limitation. So we have to make the text easier as for my students. So the text can be either too dull or too hard. So how we should design the text depends on the previous introduction of the text before the workstation. So I do conduct the activities before the workstation. I want them to familiar with that activity, and when they have to do it by themselves, they know, that's the activity we did before, and we know how to do that. So do the activities before we do the workstation. And there's also some activities I didn't put it on the top one. Since we have like 5 more minutes, I will talk about some of it. First one is Teach Me. Teach Me is an activity. Students have to divide one more group into 2 groups, and they have different set of vocabulary. And they have to guess the meaning and match the definition with the vocabulary. And they have, after they pick up those 6 vocabulary in 10 minutes, they have to teach another members from their group. They have to teach them and exchange what they learned. So this is Teach Me. And definition matching. We cut the paper into small sheets, and they have to match the definition. And that's for vocabulary. And for grammar, we do sentence making. We offer them a list of words, which is cut in small papers. They make sentence using the sheets. And for reading part, we do one sentence. I do one sentence summary. Give them a short paragraph. They have to use one sentence to summarize this whole paragraph. And it is fun. This activity is fun, but I didn't put it in workstation because it's too active. It's running dictation. We put a group of students, and we put a paragraph here, and we have a secretary to write down the paragraph. And only one student can come out of the stage and read one sentence or several vocabulary, and they have to tell what he saw to the secretary, and secretary have to write it down. And say like 3 minutes, who can write, the group who can write the most sentences is the winner. And this is really active game, but students like this very much. Okay, so any questions, comments, suggestions? So, if no, maybe that's all my presentation. If you have any question, welcome to come to me after this. Thank you.
So for the other two speakers, do you have any questions? No one is dying to ask. We're dying to take a break. No more questions? It's very nice to see how they have really worked very hard to do the studying that you see, and then to take whatever they have learned and plan it in a lesson, and then try it, and then getting feedback from the students. And I really do have to congratulate all three of them on a very fine job that they have done this morning. I'd like to thank you for all of your participation and the presentation.